In January 2020, a software company based in Cleveland, Ohio, sent its employees on a mandatory winter retreat. The email promised bonding, career growth, a fresh start for the new year. What it didn't mention was that the lodge had no official address, or that the snow would trap them there. By Monday morning, one employee would be gone, and by spring, the company would quietly erase the retreat from its records. They left before sunrise, two company vans cutting through frozen highways toward rural Michigan. Phones lost signal an hour in. The radio turned to static, then to a low droning sound, almost like voices layered beneath it. Outside, snow fell too evenly. No wind, no birds, no traffic. Just miles of white trees and roads that didn't appear on Google Maps. When the lodge finally appeared, it looked abandoned. Windows dark, doors warped, the company logo carved into the wood above the entrance. None of them remembered approving that. Inside, the heat was already on. That was wrong. Someone had been there. An HR representative handed out printed sheets, hands shaking. Winter retreat protocol. Curfew, 9 p.m. Remain in assigned cabins after dark. Do not follow voices outside. If someone knocks, do not confirm who you are. One line was handwritten at the bottom. If you hear your name spoken slowly, it is already too late to answer. No one laughed. That night, the snow thickened until the windows looked painted white. At 1:14 a.m., Sarah from marketing woke to footsteps crunching outside her cabin. Then her manager's voice, "Sarah, HR needs you. Please open the door." Same tone, same breathless pauses, but her manager was asleep in a locked room across the lodge. Sarah stayed silent. The footsteps didn't leave. In the morning, there were bare footprints pressed deep into the snow. No shoes, leading from the woods to her door. They didn't lead back. By breakfast, Ethan, a data analyst, was gone. His boots were frozen solid by the door. His coat hung on the rack. Security footage showed him standing in the snow at 2:59 a.m., barefoot, staring into the trees. Then he smiled. Someone whispered his name from the darkness. He stepped forward and vanished into the white. The footage cut to black. Management said it was hypothermia. No one believed that. That afternoon, two employees forced open a locked stairwell marked maintenance, closed in winter. Below the lodge was a frozen office space. Desks, cubicles, old laptops still plugged in. Nameplates matched former employees, some who'd quit, others who'd disappeared from LinkedIn entirely. On the wall, etched deep into concrete, productivity requires sacrifice. The team endures. The temperature down there was below freezing, but the screens were warm. The snowstorm lifted the next morning. The road back appeared suddenly, clean and plowed. Ethan was never found. Within months, the company dissolved. Former employees report the same dream, a frozen office, a voice using their coworker's mouth, a knock on the door that sounds polite. And every winter, when snow falls too quietly, some of them still wake up to hear HR calling their name. Some companies don't let you resign. They just wait for winter to In February 2018, a financial services firm based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, held an off-site winter evaluation retreat. They called it the Annual Review Cabin. Attendance was mandatory. Performance decisions would be finalized there. One employee would not return. And after that winter, the cabin stopped appearing in company emails, even though people still remembered going there. The drive took 4 hours north into deep Minnesota forest, where snow swallowed the roads and cell service disappeared without warning. The cabin sat alone beside a frozen lake, too large for a vacation rental, too organized for something abandoned. Inside were conference tables, name placards, and printed evaluation folders already placed at each seat. No one remembered sending the files. Someone had prepared for them. Each employee received a sealed envelope marked Winter Performance Review. Inside was a schedule broken into hourly blocks. The last block was printed in bold, 11:30 p.m., individual feedback, private. Below it, a warning: do not leave your room during another employee's review. Do not interrupt voices behind closed doors. If you hear crying, it is not part of the process. HR insisted it was standard procedure. No one argued. They needed their jobs. At 11:38 p.m., Rachel, a junior analyst, heard footsteps outside her room, then her supervisor's voice, too calm, too slow. "Rachel, let's talk about your future here." The handle turned. Rachel stayed frozen in bed. Through the window, she saw someone standing on the lake, barefoot, not sinking. In the morning, there were drag marks in the snow, leading from the cabin toward the ice. They stopped at the lake's center. There were no footprints. By day 2, Thomas from compliance was missing. His evaluation folder remained on the table, stamped in red ink across the front. Does not meet expectations. Security footage from the cabin showed Thomas entering the review room at 11:31 p.m. The door closed. No one exited. At 3:12 a.m., the lake camera showed ripples beneath the ice. Something moved underneath, slowly, like it was pacing. 2 employees opened the review room before sunrise. Inside was not an office. It was a narrow space lined with mirrors. The walls were covered in handwritten notes. Improvement is required. We remove what doesn't fit. The company survives. In the center sat a chair, wet, frozen, and cracked down the middle. The floor beneath it was stained dark, trapped under ice. The retreat ended early due to weather complications. Thomas was officially listed as having resigned. The company shut down 2 years later without explanation. Former employees report the same recurring winter dream: a frozen lake, a calm voice listing their weaknesses, a question they're afraid to answer. Why should we keep you? And every February, when performance reviews come around, some of them swear they hear footsteps on ice outside their bedroom windows. Some jobs don't fire you. They review whether you... In December 2017, a national logistics company headquartered in Denver, Colorado, required select employees to attend an off-site winter compliance training. The training location was a decommissioned facility near Rabbit Ears Pass. The memo stated one thing clearly: attendance was not optional. By the end of the weekend, 1 employee would be listed as terminated for misconduct. No body was ever recovered. The shuttle left Denver before dawn. As the city lights faded, the temperature dropped fast. Snow covered the roads so thickly that guardrails vanished. GPS stopped updating. The driver said nothing. The facility appeared suddenly, a concrete structure half buried in snow, its windows boarded from the inside, the doors unlocked automatically. Inside, the lights were already on. The building was warm. Someone was waiting. Each employee received a black binder labeled Winter Compliance Procedures. Most pages were normal. The final section wasn't. All: remain in assigned rooms after 8:30. Do not open doors to unverified personnel. Voices may be used for evaluation. Failure to comply will be recorded. At the bottom, stamped in red, the system does not make mistakes. No one asked what that meant. At 9:42 p.m., the intercom crackled to life. A woman's voice, flat, emotionless, called employees by name. When it reached Miguel, he felt his phone vibrate. A text appeared. "Please report to Evaluation Room C." He never replied. At midnight, the hallway cameras showed Miguel standing outside his room. The intercom used his voice next, calling other names. By morning, Miguel was gone. His binder lay open on the table. Across every page, the same sentence had been typed repeatedly. Non-compliance confirmed. Footage from Evaluation Room C was recovered weeks later. It showed Miguel sitting alone. Then the room temperature dropped rapidly. Frost formed on the walls. A second chair slid into view. No one was sitting in it. 2 employees accessed a locked stairwell marked Archived Operations. Below was a frozen monitoring center. Old terminals displayed employee profiles, names, photos, disciplinary notes. Some names were still employed, some were not. A digital clock on the wall hadn't moved in years. It read 11:59 p.m. always. The training was canceled due to extreme weather. Employees reported recurring winter nightmares, a voice over an intercom, a door unlocking on its own, a chair moving closer in the cold. And every December, when compliance emails arrive, some swear their phones vibrate with a message they're too afraid to open. Some systems don't train you. They test how quiet